Hey, assalamu alaikum. So today's lesson, I would like to discuss the Hadi, the guide, and Rashid, the guiding teacher. So the name Hadi, Hada Ya, the root, and it means to incline towards something. And for example, some of you know who know Arabic, hadya, right? It's a gift. You give gift to someone to incline their hearts towards you, hopefully. So the Hadi, in this context, it means the guide, the one who guides. And in this instance, the guidance is not just one and off, right? The guidance is like ongoing. And for example, that's why we ask for Allah SWT guidance 5 times a day. Each time we recite Surah Al-Fatiha, we're asking for guidance. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, right? Guide us to the straight path. So in comparison to the Rashid, Rashid in a similar meaning, however, it means the guiding teacher. The one, and in simpler of the Rashid, it means the one who is right, who is showing the right way, who knows with the wisdom and knowledge. I hope that makes sense. So whenever we are lost, we feel lost, we have to remember the Al-Hadi, the guide, is just one dua away. We have to always remember to turn back to him. So having said that, just there comes to one story in mind, because Allah SWT guides us in so many different ways. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. So one of the stories you may remember of the life of the Umar radiallahu anhu. If you remember, he was that moment that he was really angry. He was on his way to kill the Prophet ﷺ. So what happens is that on his way, one person meets him and says, why didn't you go and check your own household first, your sister? And he gets angry, goes to his sister and hits his sister, and finds out that she was also embraced Islam. Those chain of events was really interesting. It says that the Umar's heart was softened by hitting his sister first and seeing the blood of his offspring, and all these things lead him to accept Islam on the right spot, right? So we don't know where the guidance comes from, and we have to remember that, and we have to always remember that ask for guidance from Allah SWT. So having said that, today's lesson is how do we live by this name, Al-Hadi, the one who, the guide, Al-Rashid. It actually, by the way, I also forgot, some of the cultures we call the name Al-Huda, right? The one who guides as well. So there are 3 lessons I would like to leave you by. The first is that we have to always ask and keep asking the Al-Hadi, the guide, to guide us to the straight path. Number 2 is we have to be gentle on people when we are asking them to guidance, because we have to remember that lesson number 2, and guidance is not forced, right? And when the people choose to ask for guidance, they can come to Allah SWT, or for someone to ask for help, but you cannot force people to guide people. So we have to remember that. So there's also one story comes to mind, that the question could be, does Allah SWT misguide too? Because you can see some verses in the Quran that says you cannot guide someone if Allah SWT misguides them. And the context of this, the ayah, in general context, is that it's understood in a way Allah SWT guides those who ask them sincerely to be guided. However, when the guidance is given and you reject them, and this is when things turn really bad for you or for those people. And we see them over and over and over in the example of Quran. For example, one of the lessons is the people of Thamud, and it says the guidance was sent to them, but there is the guidance and the calamity befalls them. And this is a recurring theme on Quran. If you read the Quran, the recurring theme is that Allah SWT always sends guidance first. And some tribes they accept, some tribes they don't. Those they don't, they just face the consequences in that regard. That's something we have to remember, and we have to always be mindful to ask for guidance sincerely. And once we do that, Allah SWT, inshallah, we hope He guides us, and hopefully we'll find guidance, and we will find joy, we'll find happiness here in the hereafter. So today's lesson, today's episode ends here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.